Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim, out here pushing this gospel of truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Lord willing, for upon our houses. This is the brother Quan Wath coming back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Lord, Lord will, it is edifying. Lord will, it is straight to the point. But this lesson is ultimately inspired by, going through, an old notebook of mine, man, and I had seen a lesson that I had done a while back, and I haven't touched on this subject in a while. So, I would like to ultimately go into that in this lesson. This lesson is ultimately going into attaining wisdom, right? Just like I'm lighting some incense right now, man. But I got this right here. This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 5. It says, get wisdom, get understanding. And how do we do that, man? How do we get that proper understanding? How do we get wisdom, And again, not the wisdom of this world, the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. How do we do that? By taking heed to his word, man. By watching these videos, right? Taking heed to the prophets, the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, getting the proper breakdowns, the proper understanding of the scriptures, man. So let's go to that right there. Let's go to Psalms, precept that, right? This is Psalms 104, or it's like in 119 and 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding, right? You have to go, as the scriptures say, precept upon precept, man. Here a little, there a little, right? You get understanding that way, man. You can read the scriptures front to back, man. From Genesis all the way to Revelations with the Apocrypha included, and understanding, is not given to you, man. Ultimately, understanding comes from, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai supping with you, man, But if you're not reading it in the correct context, the way that it's supposed to be read, and you'll never get that understanding, man, So not only do you have to read it the way it's supposed to be read, and you have to ultimately get those breakdowns, man, Hey, what did that eunuch say to Philip, man? Or what did Philip ask the eunuch, or what did Philip say to the eunuch, When the eunuch asked him if thou understand what he readeth, he said, how can I let somebody, teach me, man? So you have to be taught, So again, that starts with you taking heed, to the prophets, man, and them getting, or giving you those breakdowns, man, through these videos, through the street teachings, so on and so forth, man. This is how you get understanding, man. This is how you get that wisdom, right? It says, therefore, I hate every false way, right? So let's go back, Proverbs 4 and 5, and we'll finish that out. It says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth, right, man? And we're supposed to, consistently, continually meditate on the words of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, man, day and night, man, as the scriptures say, man, and this is at all moments, right? Verse 6 says, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee, right? And we, and a matter of fact, I actually want to go into that word preserve. Let's go and let's grab, what is it, Proverbs 4. It's like, I want to grab that word preserve, right? Because this is, some shamar, right? Samar, it's shamar, right? In the Hebrew, it's shamar, right? Which means, right, to keep, to guard, observe, right? To guard, to keep watch, right? To protect, right? To save life, right? Right. To preserve, man, and this is what we need, right? We need that protection, right? We need, that safekeeping in the times to come, because we understand, the times that we're in, right? We understand that Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. Edom is making, more and more steps, to ultimately begin to really rule out this Karagma, man, as well as, you have, wars and rumors of wars are taking place. Upwards of people are happening. More and more, you got a mass, what is that? Mass, I don't want to say layoffs, but, ultimately people quitting in droves, as we've seen in the beginning of the scamdemic, back in, 2020, 2021. And well, now they're starting to happen again, man. I think it was just in the past couple months or in the summer, 415,000 Americans, you just quit, man. They walked off, man. So we're seeing all this happen again, right? And it's only it's only going to get worse, man. Scriptures talk about in the last days, perilous times shall come, man. And we're in those times, man. We're in the build up to those times, right? So we ultimately need that protection. We need that, that safekeeping, right? In the times to come, and you ultimately, receive that, by you taking heed to this word, right? The word, the words of Yahweh Shem Shai teach you how to move, so that way you're making that you're taking the right steps and moving the right way through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai in order to avoid those things, right? As it says in, which we're going to grab it, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. It says, verse 6 was Proverbs 4:6, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee, love her, and she shall keep thee, right? That word keep ultimately goes into the same thing, right? To keep in safe custody, right? To guard, to protect, right? Right, verse 7, it says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding, right? And I want to go to that word principle, right? Which ultimately it goes into, the choice thing, right? The best choice, right? The first, beginning, best, right? Chief, first choice part, man. And so this should be something that you're ultimately focused on every day, man. It's being able to, get these breakdowns, right? Be able to gather up this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is also likened unto oil in the scriptures, according to Matthew, the 25th chapter, man. Gathering up that oil, man. So that way in the times to come, you can trim your lamps, man, and you're good, right? You're protected in the times to come, man. Because the scriptures say the Lord loveth them that dwell with wisdom, man. So something that you love, you love your kids. So when your kids are in trouble, for those that have kids, if your kids are in trouble, and what happens? You go to protect your kids from that trouble, man. And are we not the children of the Most High? So it goes full circle, man. That's just how it is. Or you know what I mean? If you let's speak materially, right? If you love your car, this, that, and the third, you're going to want to protect it from any harm, right? Or you love your animal, you're going to want to protect it from any harm. You know what I mean? So this is, sort of the same, and that was just an analogy, right? We're in that same position, man. The Lord loves those that dwell with wisdom, right? And those that ultimately get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding are the ones that are going to be protected in the times to come, just beating a dead horse, right? It says wisdom is a principal thing, right? The best, the choice part thing, right? Something that you should be focusing on, right? It says, therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding, right? So it's ultimately telling you, hey, hurry up, man. Get it. This is something you should be focused on daily, man. You should be watching videos. You should be reading as much as you can, even if it's just a chapter a day, man. Even if it's one video, 1 hour, hour and a half video a day, as long as you're getting fed through the spirit, and you're trying your best to get that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai sees that, man. And if you be part of the elect, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai will protect you, man. And I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to beat a dead horse too much, man. But I do want to grab this. This is a heavy precept, the elder Warren had brought out, a while back. Let me find it. Slacky, let me find it real quick. Slacky, I found it. Right, so it says right here, and this is Proverbs chapter 2, beginning at verse 10, right? It says, when wisdom
entereth into thine heart, right? We understand that word heart goes into the Hebrew word lav, which means your mind, right? It says, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Discretion shall preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee, right? And again, we went into that word shamar, which goes into keep, right? Which goes into, protect, which goes into keep watch over, right? To guard, right? So this, you getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, what will the Lord do, man? He'll protect you. Psalms, the 91st chapter. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, right? Those that get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that continue to gather up that oil, well, what? Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, man. And I've gone into that, just giving y'all an analogy, man. When you look at a tree, for those that are in a hot place, right? Here in Arizona, it gets hot. Right, so when you're out there, let's say you're doing landscaping or this, that, and the third, you see a lot of Issacharites. What do? They go and sit under the tree, right? They're sitting in that shade, right? Because that tree provides shade. And what is that shade doing, man? That shade is protecting them. Salaki, that shade is protecting them from them harmful rays of that sun, man. Which and that the harmful rays is symbolic for the evil, the destruction, the death that very well could come our way, man. Because we ultimately, strive to get this wisdom, right, and get understanding. And what does the Lord do, man? He protects us from those things, man. That's why, man, also, matter of fact, let me go and pull that up real quick so we can read a little bit of it. Psalms 91, right? Psalms 91, I'll read verse 1. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Right now, I want to drop down a little bit. In verse 9, right? Verse 10 is the point. I'll start at verse 9. It says, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, right? Thy dwelling, right? We dwell, in this wisdom, man. We constantly are all about, getting this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, again, getting these proper breakdowns, so on and so forth. We make this first nature, man. Not second nature. We make it first nature. This is something that when before we go to sleep, we think about. When we wake up, we think about. Even in our dreams, we're constantly at work, at home, when we're running errands, this and the third, whatever we're doing, we're constantly meditating on the Lord, man. In His Word, right? Here's the point, verse 10. It says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, man, right? So He will ultimately, through His Word, protect you, man, and show you what you need to do, in order to move in wisdom, so that way you can ultimately, make the right decisions at the time to come, right? So let's go back and we'll finish this, right? This is Proverbs chapter 2, and I'll read verse 11 again. It says, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, right? What? To do what? To deliver thee from the way of the evil man. And the way of evil man is Esau Edom, right? And we understand that Esau Edom is about to come down having great wrath, man, and either at that time or just before that time, which don't necessarily know exactly, when prophecy hits off. We just understand, and know that prophecy is coming, right? We can see it coming. We have all the signs, right? We just don't know when everything is actually going to take place, right? So we understand that Esau Edom is soon to come down having great wrath, and by getting this oil, and before the gates of mercy close. Once the gates of mercy close and everything starts to pop off, and you're not able to go, and say, hey, hey, things are getting crazy. Let me go get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so I'm straight. No, it's too late, man. This is why you're supposed to get it now. This is why you're supposed to, seek out the Lord while He may be found, man. Isaiah 55:6. And if you're not doing that, hey, guess what, man? You're basically setting yourself up for failure, man. That's how it is, right? It says to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, man. Again, this is Esau, in a nutshell, man. So ultimately getting this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and you have a greater chance, than everybody else who don't have it, man. Whereas they'll be destroyed, and you'll be delivered. Lord, will you be part of the elect, man? Hey, so get this wisdom out of understanding while you can, right? Get it while you can. Get it while it's high, as the world says, man. So I just want to touch on that, man. Showing you the importance of getting this wisdom, knowledge and understanding, man. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Shai, Ba'ashem, or Chakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Shai, Lord willing, for upon your houses. I'll say shalom to next time.